Whoa, what's going on? Whoa. Yes, sir, this is the blooper. Anyways, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy DVA Creations coming back with another video. Hope you guys can hear me good. Now, for those of you who are tuning into this video, I just want to say a couple of things before we actually do. First, newcomers, what's up peeps? It's your boy DVA. The name is Dustin. That's about all you get to know. But what I do on this channel, I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things in life too. One of the things that I do, I like to work on cars. Wait. I am capping. I do not like to work on cars. That's just what I do. What I love to do is work on the new age. Right now, we in daily right now. But newcomers, make sure you go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit a like on the video. Today, we're gonna be doing some more painting. And I just want to like give a little bit more detail than I did before my last video. And I think my next upload, I'm gonna upload like the plans that I have for my new age. My voice didn't crack.
A motherfucking, down, hell.
You know what I did? I hiccup or burp. Yeah, that's what I did. I burped. Next video is gonna be about the new edge. Let me know if you guys are gonna be ready to hear, what the plans I have for it. Put in the comments below right now what you want to see. But besides that, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so guys, like I said, today we're gonna be doing a little bit more painting, and I'm gonna do a little bit more details on how I actually get my paint work done. I don't do the best job, but I do a very good job, and I pretty much do the best job that you could actually get from getting rattle cans. Other people might do better than me. I'm not sure. I don't look at them. I'm just showing you what I do. So let's go ahead and get to that real quick and show you the basic steps. All right, guys. So I'm gonna have my panels set pretty much right here. I already sanded them, but I'm gonna explain how I sanded them as well. And we got Lonely John right here trying to suck me off. But this is what we do to them down the south. Yeet. All right, so right now I'm looking for those panels that I just sanded, and I am drunk. Not really. Check it out. Boom. This is 400 grit right there, believe it or not. Take it or leave it. I don't care. It's 400. I sanded this one down, and I sanded this one down too. Now, what I did use was a orbital sander, and that's Buddy right here. Make sure you get you one of these, the round ones. Don't get no square one, because I found out that people typically use the square ones like this one right here for wood. And well, you live and you learn. Anyways, the round one is obviously for more corners. The square one is for more square-ish flat surfaces. So first thing I did whenever I did this, see, you can see that dirty. Yeah, you want to know why it's dirty? Because I'm not done with it yet. But regardless, first tips I did, I used a 220 grit. Now I went pretty rough with that, but that's just what I did. And after the 220, I went ahead and did a 320 grit sandpaper. Now typically you can use a 320 grit, and you'll be good with that. You hit the 320. And it's really just to scuff up the surface, just to get it down to like where it's at right now, just to feather out. Those, sandpapers are using like for feathering and stuff. And I had to feather out like chips that I had on the side from painting before and not getting prep work done enough. So I feathered out with 220. You can feather out with 320. If I was you, I'd start off with 320 if you're trying to feather stuff out. If you don't need to feather anything out and you're just trying to get all the surface dull, which is mainly what you need to do. Say like if this right here was clear coat, I would probably sand it with at least a 400 to 600 grit sandpaper, and just to get everything dull looking like how it is now. Cause the paint really doesn't stick onto a super smooth surface. It needs a little bit, gritty / tacky. I don't know what you want to call it. I hit it with 320. Then I went over with a 400 grit. You can paint with 400 grit to 600 grit. Don't try 320. I haven't tried 320, so that's just what I'm told. So, and this is by people who actually paint. So, and I just kind of soak in everything they're talking about like a sponge. So, regardless, so I just hit it with the 400 grit, and this is what the 400 is right here. And what I'm gonna probably do, I'm gonna paint these things one at a time. So I'm gonna set O'Sally here off in the corner, because you can see my hand is dirty, so we need to wipe that. And if we don't wipe that, then we're gonna get all types of gunk and all that underneath it. So like I said, this is the 400 grit, not even, you know, cleaned or nothing. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna clean it with right now. Paint prep wipe, that's what we're gonna use. I need a thumbnail, hold on. 400 and 600, you know what I'm saying? You can use that by hand too, by the way. If I was you, I'd, you know, hand job it. I'm gonna use this too, by the way, so I don't die in half. Oh, the tech cloth. One of these too. So get like pretty much these right here. And so anyways, I'm gonna get my prep wipe and I'm gonna wipe the surface up real quick. So let me wipe that up real quick, then I'm gonna get back to you guys. Okay, so whenever I was using this prep wipe before, nobody said anything about having to, like, you know, fold it up, unfold it. So I'm gonna leave it squared up, because the last time I used the prep wipe, it left all kind of moisture on this product, and it was hard for me to dry it with the tack cloth. So I'm gonna see if that changes anything. So let's do something like so, and you're gonna see all the, yeah, see it's coming off already, bro. And you kind of want to do it in circular motions. I think it picks up the look at that, man. Jeez. So now I'm gonna use the other side. I'm gonna do this all around. Now guys, another thing you can do besides just straight up wiping it after you sanded it, because like I said, I did hit it with the 400 grit, and that's what all this black stuff was doing on my hands. Well, it's barely there now, but regardless of the fact, you can go ahead and hit it with like some dish liquid lotion, freaking soap and water, you know, clear it up, let it dry. After that, you know, after you rinse all the soap off, and then you can hit it with the prep rag, so you don't end up clogging most of your prep rag up like that. Wipe it down again to make sure it comes out almost spotless, and then after that, that's when I'm gonna hit it with the tack rag. So luckily I got 100 of these. All right, another thing I wanted to say, I just finished wiping it with the other rag, which is way over yonder. What's up, baby? If you have something like this, is like a kind of peculiar surface, you could get like some jack stands or get something to prop up your material that you're about to paint. Say like my bumper, I would get probably a sawhorse to paint that. So as you can see, this is what the prep white kind of does. You see how it's all glossy looking? Now what I'm gonna do is use the tack cloth, and I'm gonna use that until it dries up that surface pretty good. Now with the tack cloth, you just pretty much hit this in circular motions. See all those little hairs and stuff? That this tack cloth pretty much picks up most of that and majority of that. Another thing I would recommend, see, after the prep wipe, what you want to really get something that's lint free. Tack cloths are lint free, but this tack cloth is almost worthless right now. But make sure you get a cloth that is lint free. Wipe up the surface, then you can hit it with the tack cloth just to get like excess residue from whatever debris that is stuck on the panel. I'm gonna get a lint free cloth, wipe that up, and then I'll probably hit it with this again. But if I don't, I'll just hit it with that lint free cloth. Then that'll be it. Then I'll go straight to primer. I just went ahead and hit it with the cloth, and I don't see any more moisture left in this thing. It looks a little bit, but I don't think there is. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime it. If you can, look at the label on the back, the directions more like. It'll tell you how much you gotta shake the can before you start using it. And always, before you start spraying, make sure you spray on a surface like this or whatever else surface that you have around, to make sure that everything is coming out how you would want it. All right, guys, so I done shook this sucker up for about a minute. So I'm gonna get straight into it. It'd be best for you to do long strokes whenever you're painting. But I'm not good with doing you know, that meat. Yeah, boy. I guess you can see. Don't clown me. But regardless. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like that instead. And whenever you're doing your primer, you really don't have to like get every single detail to like, you know, on the first coat. You don't have to spray heavy on the first coat. You can do light coats with the primer first. That way, the next primer, the next coat, you have something to stick on better too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make like this coat a little tacky, something like that. Honestly, another thing I do, guys, I don't spray like top and go down. I've been doing like pretty much up, just going up. And the first coat is never gonna look the best, bro. You can get it to look the best, but like I said, this is just primer, and this is the first coat of primer. So, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spray 3 coats of primer. So, that should be it for that right now. Get your edges good. I think that's gonna be it for that. So, I usually let my coat sit for about a minute or two. I lie. To be realistic, I let it sit for at least 5 minutes before I go with like the next coat. So I'm gonna let this thing sit for like 5 minutes, then I'm gonna come with the second coat. And then after the second coat, I'm gonna do one more coat, then I'm gonna get down to the base coat. But I'm gonna show you guys the second coat, me painting the second coat. And then I'm gonna skip the third coat. Like, I'm gonna do the third coat, but I'm gonna skip showing you guys the third coat. I'm gonna go straight to base coat that you guys gonna see. First coat pretty much done drying. You don't want it super dry to touch. You want it a little tacky, like I said. So I might go with the same process how I did the first time. Make sure before you start spraying again, you know, I don't know why I keep rattling while the video's going. Make sure you go ahead and shake this for about a minute again before you start spraying. Make sure you guys overlap, not completely, but about like maybe, like pretty much make your strokes tight. Don't make them too tight. Just gotta like kind of do like a half spray almost. Can y'all see how tight that is? All right, so now I'm gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes. My third coat of primer, I'm gonna let that sit for at least 10 minutes. Don't ask why, that's just what I'm doing. If you wanna ask why, go in the comments and I'll answer. Yep. I like that. All right, guys, so your boy DVA Creations want to give you one more advice. Make sure you look at on the can to see what your humidity is like. This is Louisiana. A lot of my people know the humidity is kind of, you know, bad. The humidity right now is 92 degrees. And that's another thing about painting. You have to watch out for the humidity. Let's read this real quick. So if it's 92 degrees right now, this thing says dry and recoat times based on 70 degrees Fahrenheit to 50%. So, in other words, if it's gonna be more than that, if the humidity is more, I'm probably gonna need more time for it to dry. So it says dry to touch in 20 minutes, to handle in 1 hour, and fully dry in 24 hours. And again, based on 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So, like I said, I'm allowing this thing to dry a little more than usual, a little more time, more like. I usually do about like 5 minutes each coat, but I was doing that whenever it came to the primer and each coat, you know what I'm saying? I gave it like 5 minutes. That's what I really did. But when I'm gonna put the base coat, I'm allowing until I see that this primer that I'm looking at is like pretty much completely almost dry. Then I'm gonna go ahead and paint it up real quick, cause you don't wanna, you don't wanna go ahead and put a wet primer. No, put a wet base coat on a wet primer. You might end up with flakes or like more crackles or streaks. You're just not gonna have even surface of paint coverage. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put the base coat, but it's gonna be in a few minutes, so let's stay tuned for that, guys. All right, guys, so I shook this can for about a minute, finally off screen because I be tweaking. But let's go ahead and try the first coat. Good thing about this can, they actually do have cans that can like be sprayed at like certain angles. This right here can be sprayed at any angle. I'm really just getting the edges, guys, for no particular reason. You can start how you want. All right. Like I said before, the first coat is never gonna be nice. All right, so we'll let that sit for a couple of minutes as well. Maybe about 10 minutes again. It's a long process, guys, but the long process is kind of what it takes some time in order to get what you need. All right, peeps, so like I said, during this humidity, paint actually suffers a lot whenever it's, too humid and stuff. If you want more like, it's hard to describe, just look it up. But this is the first coat. You see it's a little spotty. First coats are always gonna be spotty. I usually do 3 coats of everything, so I'm gonna do that again. I'm just gonna cover up the edges right now. All right, gotta be careful with this thing. Put it too much, you will end up with some runs. All right, guys, so it's getting super dark PM right now. I'm holding this camera all willy-nilly. Watch this sucker mess around and drop on my nice piece and me be super heated, but let's go with it. Probably come do the clear coat tomorrow. I'm gonna do a matte clear. That's my baby over there. Let's go with it.
Shout out to my cousin, he loves the drip. You know who you is, fam. I don't like it.
Get back, and I'm gonna go up on you. Like I said, I go up with it, bro. And it's just so I don't feed my runs. When you go down, you kind of feeding your runs. Look at that, dude. And it's a shame, bro, because this thing is like glossing up right now. It's a shame. What do I mean by it's a shame? It's a shame that I'm just gonna go ahead and, hit it with some matte after that, because it ain't gonna be glossing after that. But man, look, I'm gonna leave that video like it is for right now. Well, I'm gonna leave this video like it is for right now. I ain't gonna do no more. I can't record everything like I want. It's freaking no daylight. It's dark time. But it's your boy DV Chris. Make sure you leave a like in the video. Make sure you definitely subscribe. Like I said, video tomorrow is probably going to be about the new Edge and plans I got for it. But until then, stay tuned.